Last time on Casino Royale with cheese.
The only thing I remembered him, like movie-wise, being the star of was The Cutting Edge, that ice skating movie back in the day. Back in the 80s.
The Cutting Edge?
Yeah, apparently, so he was like a hockey player that got injured, but he could still like skate. He just couldn't do like the hockey stuff, and so he wound up doing like figure skating.
There you go.
Yeah. What the fuck is this, man?
It was funded by the American Association for Figure Skating in an attempt to bring more men into the sport.
Yeah.
Like, this will get the boys.
Their slogan is, "It's not gay, we swear." Oh, shit.
That was good.
Oh, yeah. I did see this one that was really interesting where I was convinced this guy was full of shit. He said that he went through, he was like delivering pizzas or something like that.
Okay.
And he went to this hotel where he was going to be delivering a pizza. And he said that, sure enough, he had gotten abducted. And he said that they took his car as well. I was like, okay, so you and your Honda Civic both got abducted by aliens. I'm out. I'm done. I don't care.
All the pizzas were gone, too.
Right? They were just hungry, dude. They're up there getting baked, you know, like, dude, let's fuck with that pizza guy, man.
Yeah, Pizza Hut or Domino's, guys.
Let's take his pizza and then jab some shit up his ass. It's going to be hilarious.
You don't know what to say.
Right.
And now, the conclusion.
Houston, we have a problem.
I have a really bad feeling about this.
A boy's best friend is his mother.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Silent breed is people!
Yo, Adrian!
Let's put a smile on that face.
I gotta warn you, Clark. They don't play the same games here as they do at them regular casinos.
Royale, too.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Welcome back to Casino Royale with Cheese. This is episode number 44 of the show where we discuss movies that were number one at the box office exactly 20 years ago. My name is Shane. Today I'm joined by the man who, if he grew his hair out, he might look a little bit like Chucky Finster. This is Mike.
What's up, fucker?
Not much, man. How are ya?
Oh, boy, let me tell you, this format really fucked us in the ass this week.
Well, we're over Skype again, and Mike's been relegated to his bathroom to record because of the internal turmoil in his house. So
No, because my house is full of Rugrats,
Yeah.
fittingly enough.
yeah, we also had to go through. Mike had another relegation this week where he was forced to watch this movie in 16 different segments.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so typically speaking, we have various means of obtaining these films, and in this instance, Mike didn't have access to it, and so we went through and we found this week's movie on YouTube, but it was broken up into various parts. I'm assuming that's for copyright reasons, and so there was that.
It was like 5-minute bits.
Yeah, exactly. Fortunately, this movie's not long, and it wasn't like 40 different segments, you know? So,
Oh, and when each segment cuts, you're like, yes, one closer.
right. Why don't you tell us about this week's movie, my friend?
This week, we had the displeasure of watching Rugrats, the movie.
It brings me a certain amount of pleasure to hear you say displeasure, because I was scared to death that you were going to come on here and be like, I thought it was pretty good.
What?
I mean, for a kid's movie, whatever, you know.
No.
No.
There was 2 kids in my house, and neither one of them were interested in watching it.
Neither one of them gave a fuck. It was the same with my daughter. She was sitting
They
there.
tried for a second.
Right. She's farting around on, so as you well know, she has a tablet, which actually originally I was pretty much vehemently against, because I hate seeing, like, 2-year-olds plugged into the system. But it does allow for me and the wife to have a little time to ourselves, on occasion. And so it was a deal where she was on her tablet, and I was like, you want to watch this movie with me? And she, like, looked up for a second, and she was like, no, I'm just going to watch my tablet.
Yeah.
Same deal.
Dude, I'm as against tablets as you are.
Yeah.
But my daughter does have one.
Right.
We just limit the amount of usage she gets to use it,
I hear you. Yeah, she might get maybe somewhere between a half hour and an hour, maybe per day. Lots of days that falls by the wayside, but one of them deals. I need to have me and the year 1998 need to have words for a minute, brother.
Well, fortunately, it's almost over.
It is, and thank God, because that sucked. I just want to say, 1998, you suck. I think you need to go fuck yourself, because
1998 gave us Saving Private Ryan.
It did. It did.
It blew its whole load in one movie.
In one movie. We also had The Truman Show.
Good movie, but...
But, yeah. I want to say this. 1998, I was perfectly fine with me and Rugrats sitting quietly and ignoring each other on opposite sides of the room. And now you forced us into this scenario where we have to address each other, And Rugrats, it's nothing personal. I'm sure that you have your fans, and God bless them. But I would be remiss if I didn't do my job when we were discussing this movie. So
now, Rugrats the show.
Yeah.
Like, I watched episodes of that when I was a kid. And I mean, I wasn't even a kid. I was a teenager.
Right.
And like it would come on, and I might watch an episode or two of it here and there, and it wasn't terrible.
Mm-hmm.
This movie fucking sucks big, giant dicks.
Oh, big dicks. Just so we're on the same page here, this movie has a runtime, including credits, of maybe an hour and 10 minutes tops. Like, they were doing everything they could to hit that feature-length mark, They were just scrambling to find shit to put in this fucking movie,
It feels so much longer than that.
Dude, that's the truth right there. I could watch The Dark Knight, a pretty long movie, or like Star Wars, for example, and not look at my watch one time. With this, I was like, oh my God, are we only 16 minutes into this fucking thing? Are you kidding me? But
dude, I dozed off to this movie several times.
There's no reason, unless you have narcolepsy, you should be dozing off in an hour. Unless it just fucking is a shitty movie,
And after a full night's sleep.
Yeah. Pretty sad, dude.
Like, I watched this movie at 11 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
Like, I should be totally... That's normally, like, my prime time.
Nice and refreshed, yeah. I'm just waking up at
Yeah,
11.
I'm awake now. It's about lunchtime. I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
No, not this movie. It lulled me to sleep like a lullaby.
Dude, what a dog shit movie. You know what I thought was weird, man? Because I was looking at it, because I never really did watch Rugrats, and it was one of those deals where I was like, it's probably one of those that's a little bit, after my time, whatever. I looked online. This show started when I was 6 years old, actually. Mm-hmm. And it continued on until after I was legally old enough to drink. This show went on forever. What? Yeah. Crazy.
I know it was a big Nickelodeon vehicle for a while.
It was, yeah. And then SpongeBob kind of took over the reins on that deal. Yeah. I would take either of the SpongeBob movies over this, truth be told right now.
And those suck too.
Yeah, they're not particularly good, but there's on occasion a good laugh in there,
Rugrats was so bad for me, man, watching it today that, like, I hate movies right now.
Yeah, I'm not interested. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
I don't want to sit down and watch any movie right now.
Right.
Like, I don't want to hook up the computer and get on Skype today. And it's not because of you. I mean, I love you, man. It's just this movie made me angry.
Just killed any interest you have. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? How did this happen? How we decide that the premise of our show is we're going to talk about #1 movies, and then we have to watch this pile of shit?
That's what I'm saying, dude. I was sitting back going, there's been a couple of weeks now where I was like, this 20-year thing, that may not have been a very good idea. And then this week, I was really feeling it, dude. That may have been a bad move, There's been times...
Yeah, we've talked to... Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, there's been times where we've been like, fuck it. We really don't want to do this, but we kind of have to. This week, no. This is as close as I've come to being like, fuck this,
Yeah, about 5 minutes into it, I was about to start texting you, like, what was number 2?
Right? I'm pretty sure we had already discussed number 2. So,
what was number 2?
I'd have to take a look at it. Watch it be Practical Magic or some shit.
Wow.
What a fucking disaster that would be.
You can tell 20 years ago in the fall,
yeah,
they just threw out whatever piece of dog shit they had.
Oh, they didn't care. No. It was
It was all about the summer.
Oh, man. Number 2 this week was Enemy of the State.
Oh, see?
Man, that kind of pisses me off, actually. I'm a little bit salty right now, dude. Enemy of the State, it's kind of dumb, but I like that movie, dude. So
it's better than fucking Rugrats,
I'll
tell you that.
I'll tell you what. I would rather talk about it than Rugrats. And my thing
I took
about it,
no notes.
Oh, really? Okay.
None.
Just don't care. What's insane about it is I took a fuckload of notes for a movie that tops out at just over an hour. Altogether, I had 116 notes that were written down.
Oh, I believe that because if you noted what was going on the screen, because I was sitting there thinking about, like, should I be taking notes of this? And there's just so much shit.
That's what this movie's got ADD like a motherfucker, dude.
It does.
This movie's loud and obnoxious and annoying and stupid. And that's all there is to it, man. It's fucking...
The storyline makes no fucking sense.
It's like somebody coming up and standing and putting their face up to your face and going, nim, 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 for an hour. And that's basically all it is.
Yes. It's like being trapped in the living room with the kids from this movie as they pretend their way through the movie.
Yeah.
You'd be like, what the fuck are they doing?
Go away. Fuck off.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like, I feel like I definitely don't want to talk about all 116 of your fucking notes.
Oh, man. Well, the funny thing about it is any one of these kids, I would have to fucking Batman Returns their ass. Fucking, like, just throw them in the sewer to go live with the penguins, bro.
Oh, God.
It's pretty bad. Pretty bad. Let's do it. So, have you seen this movie before?
No.
I didn't figure you did.
I think I've seen another one, though.
Well, so this movie was followed by 2 sequels, and one of the sequels is a crossover. So, go figure that shit out.
Is one of them called, like, Rugrats Go to Paris?
Rugrats Go to Paris, and then the other one is The Rugrats Go Wild, which was a crossover with The Wild Thornberrys, another fucking property that nobody gives a shit about. So
I've seen both of those movies.
Oh, just not this one.
I didn't see this one.
Well, you're missing out, my friend.
I wouldn't have watched the other 2 if I would have saw this one first.
Right. I'm good. Yeah. So we have Tommy Pickles. He is the bald baby in this fucking Rugrats is a premise of these babies that are just so precious, and
they're not though.
No, they're not. They're fucking annoying as all shit, dude.
They're terribly drawn too. I've never been a fan of the style of cartoon.
No. That was one thing I was going to talk about. Actually, was the animation in this. This thing looks like it should have been like a Nickelodeon TV event at best, because there's nothing really looks better than the show here,
Oh no, and it doesn't hold up because it's so long and it's such a big production. Like, it should be better.
Well, yeah, there's nothing really to stand. The only thing I could think of that took any kind of budget with this movie was they had David Spade in there playing one of the park rangers who had like 3 lines in the fucking movie,
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just the same TV actors, same music.
This looks like if they're like, hey, Shane, Mike, I know you guys have 0 experience in writing a movie, or making cartoons, but we want you to do both.
Right. Bunch of stick figures. We could probably do something more entertaining than this, I'd be willing to bet.
I would hope so.
We could probably write something in a day that would be... We couldn't have it made, but we could write something more entertaining in a day than this, I'd guarantee.
I sure hope so.
I guess the working title for this movie was... it was the Rugrats movie, but the working title was You Couldn't Pay Me Enough to Give a Shit. The movie.
What?
You couldn't pay me enough to give a shit.
Is that real?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, damn.
There was...
I'm normally the one who throw the curveballs. You normally tell us like facts, so I thought for sure that was really what it was called. I was like, they admitted to it.
And it's funny, dude, because I look back on movies that were based on TV show properties that came out around this time, And one of them that I'm thinking back to was the Goofy movie, And for all of its flaws and everything, it's not exactly the most original story, but it had good characters. And overall, I actually would still sit down and watch that movie. I think it's pretty good. But, that's Disney versus Nickelodeon, where they're like, dude, we could squeeze some bucks out of this thing. Let's come up with something real quick, Fucking, that's it.
Does this belong to Nickelodeon Studios? Rugrats?
So it does. And then Nickelodeon, of course, is owned by Paramount, which is, of course, owned by Viacom. And so, this is a Nickelodeon property, though.
Okay.
Be that good or bad.
I didn't know if it was like the Simpsons kind of thing, where it's a Fox deal, but created by a different team that were independent of Fox before it was on Fox.
No, it's. This is the original studio and everything, kind of like MTV. They did that shitty Joe's Apartment movie, that's a Viacom company, so it's distributed by Paramount as well. So
Joe's Apartment.
Yeah.
Joe's Apartment. I remember this.
Dude that lives in the apartment with all the roaches, and they help him with his relationship issues. And
yes.
Yeah, pretty bad. Pretty bad. Anyway, we got Tommy Pickles, the bald one. We got Chucky Finster, glasses, red hair. Who cares? We got Phil. Hey. Not taking shots at you. At least you have a personality,
Well, he's the biggest pussy in the group, too.
That's the thing. I was about to say his only character trait is he's afraid of everything, We got Phil and Lil. They're twins.
Yep.
And then, of course, Angelica, who's a little bit older. And she always talks shit and tries to fucking pull one over on these stupid babies, We got Susie, which of the 2 or 3 Rugrats episodes I've seen, they didn't really feature her that heavily, but she's the little black girl. And I guess Kimmy's an Asian girl. I don't know if maybe Susie and Kimmy came along later, because I really don't remember having seen them in the show, but I didn't watch that much of it either.
Feel like they did.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a note somewhere that was like, we need some diversity.
Right. Yeah.
We just got a bunch of white Jewish kids.
Oh, we're going to have to talk about that too, because there's some stuff going on in here that I'm like, doesn't age well, but having to do with race and things of that nature. So you've never seen this movie. I hadn't either.
No.
I think I did try to watch it maybe 6 months ago. It was on Netflix, and they took it off of Netflix. I want to say it was probably a deal where, there was
nobody watched it.
Yeah, nobody watched it, or maybe Paramount just forgot that it was on Netflix. So, yank that shit off of there, Do you want to guess how many weeks this was number 1 at the box office?
One week.
Oh, was there ever a question?
I sure hope not.
Yeah, no. It came out November 20th of 98. It was made on a budget of $24 million. Where that went, I don't know.
That was the same budget as last week's movie.
Oh, was it?
What did we talk about last week?
Fire in the Sky?
Yeah, wasn't that a $20 million movie?
I think it was more like 15. So, yeah. Apparently Lenny Kravitz had a voice part in this.
What? Who's he play?
I couldn't begin to tell you. Let me see if I can find that for you real quick. Do you want to guess the overall money in this? How much money it made in the U.S.?
Well, it was number 1.
Yeah, it was.
I'm gonna say it made $18 million.
No, surprisingly. Well, you have to keep in mind they made sequels to this thing, you know. Altogether in the U.S., it made $100,494,675.
They all went that one weekend, and that was it.
That's it, dude.
Everybody's kids were like, I want to see the Rugrats movie. I want to see the Rugrats movie.
Right.
And they went, and their parents told all their friends, this movie sucks.
Yep. By week 2, they were talking. They're like, do not go watch that fucking stupid movie. And that was it. Busta Rhymes did a voice in this. Oh, he was
I think I heard his voice. He was a baby, right?
He was the Raptar Wagon, I guess, in this fucking thing. I didn't even know it had a voice.
I am Raptar.
Oh, okay. I guess Lenny Kravitz was one of the newborn babies. Why they would even bother to get him to do that, I have no idea. Iggy Pop was a newborn baby.
Yeah, I figured that was a chance for like a lot of cameos because there's a lot of like singing and shit in there.
Yeah.
We're going to have to talk about that too.
Yeah, we do. We do. Well, you already know my opinion on musicals, so, you know. There was, Whoopi Goldberg played the other ranger in this, I guess.
I thought I recognized that voice.
Yeah, me too. There was, I guess Tim Curry played a character, Rex Pester. Whatever that is. Couldn't tell you. And then, of course, the rest of the cast is just the show regulars, which who gives a flying fuck? So, anyway, I guess our best avenue of approach should be to try to discuss this movie and get it out of our system so we never have to bother with it again.
I don't want to.
You look like you're getting a migraine there, my friend. Mike all of a sudden has a brain tumor.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor. So yeah, this is one thing that I was going to discuss was the animation. I just wrote down the characters all look awful. And one question that I had was, so when it comes to Tommy, the little bald baby, because his mom is pregnant, which I find interesting because she'd been pregnant, I believe, since like the beginning of the show at this point. So we're talking like 8 years here. Why all of a sudden now do they decide? Because that's just like the way a character is, kind of like Joe's wife in Family Guy, you know, even though I think she had her baby too. But at this point, I'm like, so are we to believe that she's been pregnant for 8 years now? Or what's the deal there?
I don't think it works like that in the Rugrat universe because those babies don't get any older.
They don't, and that's what I was thinking. Like, this kid should be 8 years old now.
I think they do Rugrats like grown up.
They did
like
Rugrats grown up, yeah. Nobody watched it, so it died a slow death.
Yeah.
But my other question is, so if you have a child, your first child, and it comes out looking like Tommy, I would be the parent that would be like, maybe our genetics just don't work well together. We should probably count our losses and call it a day.
But everybody in this world looks fucked up.
Look hideous. Yeah, all of them. One's no uglier than the other.
When Chucky has no glasses on, his eyes are just dots.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's really crazy looking. My other thing was, if I had a kid looking like Tommy, he'd probably be on the news because he'd be in a dumpster somewhere.
Oh, God. Take it back. Take it back.
Oh, man. But, yeah. The movie opens, it's opening with a number one, the TV show intro. Don't do that. In my opinion,
I thought it was an effective way to draw me in.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, they got me hooked now.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. This is like the show, but on the movie screen. Right.
I could do this all day.
Please don't.
Yeah, I love the sound at the end of the bottle's like.
whenever Tommy nuts all over the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they go through it. I'm sitting here thinking, like, you have not earned the right to even be on the big screen. So you can fuck right off with that shit, you know?
Yeah, the Simpsons were on TV for like 20 years before they did a movie.
Yeah. You know, this movie has 2 sequels and a crossover to it, and we're sitting here on one South Park movie. What the fuck, bro? Give me a fucking reason why that's the case.
I don't know.
That's bullshit. Anyway, the film opens with a Raiders of the Lost Ark reference. Mm-hmm. Probably not a good move. Don't make me think about a way better movie right now, movie.
Like one of the best movies ever made.
Yeah, that's not a strong start.
Correction, most entertaining movies, at least.
Exactly. I mean, that's a pretty damn good movie, you know. So making me think about that while you're trying to lure me into this, that's not the movie you want to make. I'm just saying.
And they got the characters all fucked up.
Yeah.
They got Chucky dressed up like what's his fucking name? Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
And Tommy's wearing like a safari hat, but using a jump rope like a whip, like Indiana Jones. And his name is Tommy Jones, but
Tommy
he's not
Lee
dressed
Jones.
like Indiana Jones. He's not dressed like Indiana Jones. They fucked it all up.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Also, let me get this straight too. So, with this movie, we've got these kids that they don't even have teeth yet. So it's fair to assume that they're under the age of 1 year old, right?
Yeah, because, Tommy walks, but no teeth.
Right. Do they really know what Indiana Jones is? Is that what we're supposed to be believing here?
I don't know.
Whatever. It's fucking stupid.
Do 1-year-olds know anything other than I'm hungry and I'm tired and I'm messy?
My 5-month-old, that's about the extent right there. Like, he just started grabbing shit, and that's it, dude. So, anyway, these morons are going through some kind of temple.
Come on, man.
I wrote down they find some sort of idol that turns into a banana split. And then suddenly a rock starts chasing them.
The big boulder.
Yeah.
From Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Like Indiana Jones, yeah.
Yeah. And it's Tommy's mom's belly.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Stupid. By the way, so quick caveat. I've noticed on all the subsequent re-releases of the Indiana Jones box set, they now call it Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't think I like that much. It's just Raiders of the Lost Ark, you know. He's one of the people trying to raid the Lost Ark, so don't call it that. I mean, you can change it to whatever you want. You can call it, you know, fucking fuck farts for all I care, you know. I'm still going to call it Raiders of the Lost Ark, so...
Fuck farts.
Yeah.
Well, you can call George Lucas and Steven Spielberg and tell them your opinion.
Right. I'm
sure
keep that in mind.
I'm sure 2 of the biggest powerhouses of all time in movies will definitely appreciate your opinion.
I'm sure they're listening right now. Totally turn them around. Yeah. To the Rugrats review.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I hate this.
Pretty bad. So imagine
Tommy's mom is pregnant.
Right. Has been for 8 years, so yeah, she's about ready to pop.
They're at the baby shower.
I believe that makes her in her like 24th trimester. So anyway.
Are you really doing this to me? We've summarized better movies than this.
Way better. Apparently there's some kind of stupid baby shower going on. There's a guy with a goat.
Yeah, his grandpa.
Fucking whatever.
He wanted to bring a yak.
I don't even know what to say to that, man. Everybody thinks that Tommy's going to have a sister.
Yeah.
And then I guess, so there's Stewie, the dad. He's Tommy's dad. He's the uncle of Angelica. So he's like brothers with Angelica's dad. And he's an inventor, and he's welding together some bullshit down in the basement while they're throwing a party up topside. Brilliant.
He's always in the basement.
Yeah. Whatever. He's creating this Raptor wagon. I wrote down some retarded children's toy. Because Raptar's the thing, I guess, in this universe.
I would love a Raptar wagon.
Because it has fire on it and shit.
That's by far the coolest part of this whole movie.
Yeah. Is there a cool part, though?
No. But if there was
compared to all the other bullshit, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's hoping that he's successful so his family doesn't lose their house, it looks like.
Yeah, they can get that big $500 prize money.
Yeah, that's really going to hook it up, man. Fucking one trip to the grocery store and you're wiped out, you know.
No, he spent more than $500 on materials making that fucking
all that
thing.
crap, yeah. I was going to say something, but I don't remember what now. So,
this movie sucks.
So let me ask you, when's the last time an inventor, like a flying solo inventor, like made it huge? I think it was probably Edison. Dude, if your family's belly up, maybe you should go get a real job, you know?
Elon Musk, man.
I mean, well, that's valid. All right, fair enough. I don't think the Raptar wagon is going to be up there with Tesla, but, you know, whatever. Yeah, he included this flaming component on this dumbass toy of his. Mm-hmm. All the kids, the Rugrats, if you will, they go to check out the baby's room, and then Angelica rolls up and starts shitting all over everything. She's like telling Tommy that his parents won't love him anymore. After, oh my god, I don't know if I can do this, brother.
No, you can't. You don't. I'm looking at you right now, just like I watched the movie.
Oh man, yeah.
Just dead faced,
just fucking
no
like
emotion,
soulless, you know.
Mm-hmm. Look, here it goes. All right,
here we go.
Tommy Pickles' mom is pregnant. He's expecting a baby sister. Okay, at the baby shower, she goes into labor.
Yep.
Right? So they go to the hospital.
Right.
Tommy thinks that he has to go get his baby because they think they lost the baby at the baby shower. So they burst into a newborn like nursery in the hospital, you know, like the classic like viewing glass with all the little babies in the little beds.
Yeah.
And we get a musical production
where the babies are urinating all over everything. Might I add?
And making dick jokes.
Right. Yep.
One little girl says, "They cut my cord," and one of the baby boys looks down at his dick and says, "Consider yourself lucky."
Oh, what's weird is one of the delivery rooms is like this farming room where there's like this woman toiling in the fields.
Yeah, it's the old world room.
And one of them's like underwater. What the fuck are we even talking about, man?
That's the underwater immersion room.
It's so dumb. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so we get the musical where they make a couple dick jokes. The kids are pissing everywhere.
All right.
The song's terrible. Makes no sense. Not
Right.
even very funny.
No, it's not.
Then
apparently Lenny Kravitz liked it.
Yeah. Then the baby's born. It's a boy.
Right.
To everyone's surprise.
Mm.
And Tommy pays the doctor with the chocolate coin that his granddad gave him earlier in the movie.
It's been down his pants up until now. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole time. Then they go home. Babies do what babies do. You know, they cry, shit, cry some more.
Oh, we jump ahead 4 weeks. Yeah.
No, good. I'm glad we had that part in there. Yeah.
Well, the other reason I mentioned that is because they supposedly have this baby like talking, like saying rudimentary words and shit at 4 weeks. Are you
but
insane?
I think that's only in the Rugrats' minds, dude.
Oh, could be. Like they're all insane and they're just sitting in a house, in a room, like fucking twitching and shit. Like thinking everything up. Indiana Jones and fake babies and shit.
Yeah, you reveal that in like the final scene that this was all in their heads. Okay. So just so you know, in the Rugrats world, most of the shit that goes on is in their heads.
Yeah, it's imaginary, yeah.
Yeah. And so I think like fucking Dill Pickle, which is what they named the baby.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Shut up, movie. Shut the fuck up.
He says things like hungy.
Hungy.
Yeah. CP.
Oh, my God. Meanwhile, there's this totally makes sense from a narrative standpoint. A circus train is pulling into town.
Yeah, what the fuck?
These fucking monkeys wind up taking control of the train and running it off the rails, and it crashes. What the fuck does this have to do with anything, bro?
I know why it's there. And it's retarded why it's there.
Please.
Okay. The reason it's there is because this movie takes place in North America.
They needed monkeys in the movie.
They need monkeys in the forest where we don't have monkeys.
Right.
So they had to get them in there somehow.
So it just as easily could have been like an escape from the zoo. Call it good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But no, we have a circus train.
Because we're just trying to pad
sucks.
this motherfucker out. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So Phil and Lil decide that because Tommy's like sad because like the new baby's getting all the attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like he even has this like where he sings this lullaby to himself crying in the closet. It's actually quite sad.
I was watching it too. Like that does suck. But
yeah.
Then you look
ask
and
Madeline
you're
all
like,
about it.
oh, this hideous child though. Like his head looks like a potato, you know.
Yeah.
And so
I'm more like a rotted pumpkin.
Yeah, I have a difficult time feeling sympathetic for something that's just so horrendous, you know. It's like the Elephant Man, you know.
Oh God. So, but anyway, Phil and Lil decide that they're going to get rid of the baby.
Yeah.
They're going to take him back to the hospital.
Oh, they think that
back.
the parents bought him, so they're trying to return him. Yeah.
Yeah. And they throw him in the, what's the name of that? Raptar?
The Raptar wagon.
Yeah.
Just rolls off the tongue.
Tommy just got done having this big motivational speech with his dad.
Yeah.
Talking about responsibility of being a big brother.
Gives him
like
a
this
watch.
baby
Like a pocket
would understand
watch.
any of this shit.
Right. Hey, let me ask you this, right? So Angelica talks to these babies, and they understand her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they can talk back to her, and she understands them. But yet she talks to the adults in this movie, too. And they can understand her. But yet somewhere in between, there's like... Because they can't understand like Tommy or Phil and Lil or Chucky or any of these other kids. And so I guess there's a language barrier somewhere in there?
So the only one I think that shouldn't be able to communicate is Tommy.
Okay.
Because Phil, Lil, and Chucky all rock shoes.
Yeah.
Like they walk around like bigger kids.
Tommy's running around in his underwear.
Diaper.
Yeah. That's about it. Yeah.
Diaper and barefooted.
Right.
So to me, he's the baby. Everybody else is like toddler.
Right. Yeah.
Even your 2-year-old, you can understand what they're trying to tell you most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She was talking pretty good.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. There's definitely some weird shit going on. Anyways, so to jump ahead here real quick, they're sitting there. Tommy finds out that Phil and Lil want to take the baby back. And there's this big argument that starts because Tommy doesn't want to. Angelica basically rolls up and tells him to shut the fuck up. And
Trying to watch her show.
Yeah. Dill takes her doll whenever she's
Cynthia?
walking away. Yeah, Cynthia. Ugliest fucking doll ever.
Yeah, really bad.
Got patches of hair missing and shit, but whatever. And so all the kids are in the Raptar wagon, and it rolls out of the door and down the street.
All of them.
Yeah. Which
Except
is
for
funny.
Angelica.
Yeah, except Angelica. She went back to her show. What I think is weird is the grandpa, man, because he's supposed to be watching him. This guy's got health problems or something, dude. He cannot stay awake for more than like 30 seconds at a time, man.
Well, they said he fell asleep during Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, he seems like the type. Scumbag.
And he said, hey, I hit the alarm as soon as I could.
What a moron. Making jokes about loss
But
of
here's the
American
thing.
lives here.
Let's just say Grandpa does fall asleep all the time.
Right.
That's cool. Old people do that. All right. But why are we letting Grandpa watch the kids?
Right. Grandpa obviously cannot keep up with them. So we're not going to do that anymore. It would take one time for Grandpa to neglect these kids, and I'd be like, okay, we need to hire another babysitter. Whatever. So Angelica realizes that Cynthia's missing. She sets off to find him. She's got some roller skates, and the dog Spike is pulling her. Yeah. Back at the house, Tommy's dad, Stu, doesn't know where the Rugrats are. He thinks the delivery man, because that stupid Reptar wagon was supposed to be shipped to Japan, and so he thinks that they are like in the fucking delivery truck, I guess. Dill winds up barfing on Chucky. Awesome. That's what I need in this movie.
I must have missed that part.
Oh yeah, when they're like zipping all over like the town and all that other shit, Dill like pukes all over his shirt. It's fucking great. Maybe he's in one of those segments in between the YouTube videos.
I think it's where I passed out.
Oh yeah, could very well be. Yeah,
I'm telling you,
you didn't make it far at all. So the Rugrats drive through a mattress store and they end up in this mattress semi truck. Tommy's dad's looking for the truck he thinks they're in, and he winds up causing the mattress truck to crash completely because he's like trying to go around it.
Drove his own kids off the road.
Yeah, fantastic. And once he goes off the road, of course, the truck barrels over this cliff or whatever, and the driver's like, "I'm out of here." That's basically his response. Like, "Fuck this." That's not the way the real world works.
I hope not.
You show up back at the mattress store and they're like, "Where's your truck, bro?"
You just show up like,
"What truck are you talking about there?"
yeah. Has anyone seen my truck?
Right. Jeez, man. So yeah, if that was handled in a realistic way, be like, "Yo, some dude ran me off the road. What the fuck?" Then there would be no movie here, you know, because the police would go out there, they'd find the kids. The end.
Yeah.
So, oh, it's right after that. The kids are fine and everything, and Dill winds up shitting himself. Fucking wonderful. That's exactly what I needed in this movie.
Oh, poopy.
Yeah. There's they show back at the house, like the mom finds out that the kids are missing. Dude, this place is swarming with police, man. It's like, these white kids go missing. The fucking cops give way too many fucks. Only white kids, though. They're still talking about JonBenet.
Yep.
Oh, man. So, during his diaper change, Dill pisses everywhere. So that's fucking great. Thank you for that movie.
Yeah. I think he pisses on Chucky again.
Mm-hmm. So he's got piss and fucking vomit all over him.
Pretty rough day for Chuck.
Oh, man. Rough day for everybody, including the viewer.
God damn it. Come on, Shane, get through this thing.
So Tommy's using his watch. He thinks it's a compass. He's going to use it to try to get home. Angelica falls down a mountain, I wrote. She's fine.
Come on.
Oh,
She's riding around on roller skates.
Right.
Because one of the wheels broke off the other one. There's wolves now in this world.
I guess.
Hunting down the kids.
Yeah. There's like this major press conference outside their house. All these news reporters.
Within an hour.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it looks like something out of the White House, man. Like, all these news crews are there.
And then we get a chance to meet this douchebag reporter who reoccurs throughout the film.
Oh, and he gets his comeuppance. I'm like, he's just trying to get the story. Is he that bad of a guy?
Yeah, he's pretty douchey.
I guess. Something. So anyway, I think it's supposed to be Chucky's dad, but he's barely a character in this movie. By the way, I would have loved it if this was like the Chucky from Child's Play. Just fucking massacring motherfuckers, man. But talk about a M. Night Shyamalan plot twist there. Way better movie. But he tells him about this truck crash. Everybody heads out to the scene. And now all of a sudden, Grandpa's like wide awake, giving a shit. He's wearing his like army attire. So why he was at Pearl Harbor, I don't know. But, whatever. So the kids that are lost, they go to the top of this hill, thinking that it's going to lead them back home. They see like this billow of smoke, and they're like, oh, it's the Lizard of Oz? How they drew that conclusion, I'm not sure. But they're like, we just need to make it over there. We can wish to go home. Meanwhile, everybody's pissed off at Dill because they think this whole thing's his fault. Dill ends up pulling off Tommy's diaper so you get to see fucking Tommy's ass. Once again, thank you, movie, for that. What else happens? Oh, there's
nothing.
There's like a wolf. They see a footprint and like hear howling, and they're like, "Let's get the fuck out of here." So anyway, there's supposed to be like this Disney parody because they push the wagon down this hill to get away from the wolf, and there's like this little gathering of like these woodland creatures or whatever.
Like you would see from Snow White.
Yeah, or like Bambi or some shit like that, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden the fucking wagon goes racing through there. I'm sitting here thinking like, don't try to fucking solely Disney's name movie.
Well,
you have not earned this. You suck.
It busts through the scene while that wagon's going, I am Raptor.
Yeah.
Like, is that Nickelodeon saying, like, what's up, motherfuckers, we're here now.
Right. Because this movie's so much better than anything that Disney ever did, you know? God damn. So anyway, this park ranger...
To be fair, that was kind of when Disney was dying.
Yeah, they were definitely on the downslope after that, around that time. Because this is post, like, Pocahontas, which flopped. Hunchback of Notre Dame flopped. You know, they...
Emperor's New Groove.
Not popular. I mean, it was moderately successful. Hercules had moderate success, but they were... The late 90s were not kind of Disney, you know? So, no. This park ranger sees the stupid wagon, thinks it's a dragon, and the David Spade park ranger doesn't believe her. So, at one point, they lose control of the wagon, and Dill winds up pushing this lever to make him fall into the river. And
the wagon is equipped to float down rivers.
A flotation device, yeah.
And a motor.
Yeah, okay, well, that would have come in handy if it could drive, you know. But no, we're just going to give it a boat motor.
This movie sucks.
Oh, man, hard, bro. What's crazy, I thought about this, though, is at the beginning of the movie, they're copying Indiana Jones. And then, like, after this came out, there was Indiana Jones, The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, where they actually use a boat to like go down a waterfall, and it's a boat that also has a flotation device. I was like, oh, so Indiana Jones copied it too, you know? So, fair enough. God. Yeah.
I hope that's what happened.
Right. Meanwhile, the David Spade park ranger sees the thing floating down the river, and so he's like, oh my God, it's a dragon. So he believes her now.
Now he totally loses his shit. He was an overly confident douchebag before, and now he's like going crazy.
Right. Meanwhile, the parents are looking for the kids. They find this trail that Angelica left, where it's like a candy wrapper, and Stewie's like, I have a plan. And he takes off.
He leaves the scene.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
he goes home.
Yeah, we cut to a scene where they're on this stupid Reptar wagon that's floating down the river, and Tommy's singing a pirate song. Now keep in mind, all throughout this movie up to this point, there's been little songs that are like peppered throughout this movie.
They're not good.
They are awful. Completely forgettable.
They don't push the storyline.
Not at all. It's just there to pad out the runtime, I'm telling you.
You must be right, because they make most of them are incoherent bullshit.
Oh yeah. Well, and without these songs, I think that the movie would only be like 45 minutes long. And they're like, we can't release this in theaters, you know?
Oh, darn.
Yeah. Save me the fucking heartache. But anyway, Chucky falls out of the boat. They rescue him. Fucking let's just keep padding this out, you know?
I'm having a really hard time.
Oh, yeah. It's bad.
I'm getting really uncomfortable.
They're headed toward a waterfall, which is the laziest fucking trope in any movie ever. If there's a cartoon and characters are in a boat, you can guarantee there's going to be a waterfall. You would think there was a waterfall every 20 feet in the real world if you lived off of cartoon logic, you know. So Stewie talks about how he has this invention that he came up with. It's a hang glider. That's all it is. Like, he's making a big deal about claiming that he invented the hang glider.
Well, it's got 2 propellers that are pedal powered.
And it looks like a pterodactyl.
Right.
That's all. Yeah. So anyway, we finally get to this whole stupid thing. The payoff for this monkey thing. They find the stupid wrecked circus train, and there's the circus monkeys come out of like nowhere, and it leads to another musical number.
Chucky has one funny line in this movie, and it's right here.
What's that?
And they see the train, they're like, why is a train in the forest? And Chucky's like, maybe there's a big baby looking for its train.
That was the line you thought was funny, huh? That is not funny.
No.
No. So we get to where they're messing around with these monkeys while the monkeys are singing. Otherwise, they can't talk at all, but I guess they're singing a song. We get to see Phil and Lil eat bugs, which I guess they did in the show. But once again, I'm like, thank you for showing me that movie. Awesome. Tommy winds up opening this banana baby food for Dill, and the monkeys are like, ooh, bananas. Like, start freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nanners.
They take off with the diaper bag, and then the monkeys decide that they want to take Dill for whatever
Because he's got nanners all over him.
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
Because he was hungry, and Tommy handed him the baby food, and he just dumped it all over himself.
Right. So Chucky winds up breaking his glasses, which is another thing that never factors into them. They like make a big deal about it, but it never makes any difference in the movie overall.
And this scene where he's fighting for his glasses is so disturbing because his eyes are literally just like pinholes in his face.
Yeah, they say beady eyes. This dude has beady eyes, man. It's no joke.
They're just dots.
Yeah. So there's that.
Everybody else has eyeballs.
Yeah, it's really creepy.
All he has is a pupil on his face.
Mm-hmm. Like somebody cut out his eyes and stuck it where the eyes should be. I don't know, man.
It's weird.
So we cut back to the Angelica story. This wolf almost sneaks up on her, and then Spike takes off with her. Lottie fucking da, who gives a shit? So at the house, Stewie is being dragged on this hang glider by Grandpa. Once again, Lottie fucking da, who gives a shit? Tommy shows back up after he retrieves the diaper bag. He's surprised that Dill like is a monkey. They've like wrapped up Dill or this monkey in a blanket, claiming that it's Dill. He's like, "Oh man, we gotta find that Lizard of Oz so we can have him change back into a human." And they finally tell him that the monkey's got him.
Well, like Lil and Phil are like totally cool with it.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
They're like, "Oh, the monkey's got the baby. Good."
Yeah, because they think he's annoying, getting him in trouble. So there's this whole deal where they basically are convinced that they're not Tommy's friends anymore, that he pays too much attention to the baby. Angelica has this musical number. Once again, who could fucking possibly care? At one point, she pisses off Spike, and he drags her through the woods, which is kind of what's been going on this whole time. Tommy winds up finding Dill. The monkeys let him go because they hear the wolf. And parents make it to the ranger station. The lady ranger goes off to help him. At one point, Dill winds up, because it's starting to rain now, and so there's like a bad storm. And so like Dill and Tommy are hunkered up in this little cave shelter thing.
They're in a tree trunk.
Yeah. And that's when Dill drinks all the milk and he won't stay in the blanket, and Tommy winds up falling in the
Dill's
mud.
being a complete asshole.
Oh, he is. He's being a douchebag. And he knows what he's doing because he's like laughing about it too.
Yeah, and Tommy's just trying to be a good big brother.
Take care of him.
He's like being as sweet as he can be. Like he's like, let's share a bottle and we'll take a little nap. Everything will be better. Mm-hmm. And fucking Dill chugs the bottle as fast as he can.
Right.
So now Tommy's hungry. And then when they get the blankie, he won't stay under the blankie. And then he just wraps himself up in it and says, "My blankie, bitch."
Right.
And now Tommy's cold.
He's like fighting him for the blanket, and then he winds up falling in the mud because of it.
And And Dill laughs.
Right.
So then fucking Tommy's like gonna kill his brother.
Yeah, there's this weird deal. It's like, you know, like Abraham sacrificing his son. You know? He winds up at one point, he's like, got this can of banana baby food, and he's gonna pour it on him because the monkeys are starting to circle back around again, you know. He's gonna pour it on him so that the monkeys take this dude and bounce, you know. Like, he doesn't give a fuck.
It was really weird.
Yeah, and then at the last second, he's like, "Oh wait, no, I can't do that."
Well, the baby like starts crying.
Yeah,
Like, oh shit.
he's been crying this whole fucking movie. Who gives a shit? But whatever. Chucky, Phil, and Lil, there's like the storm takes down this tree, and they think that Phil got crushed because his shoes came off. Mm-hmm. What the fuck? Why would his shoes come off?
And then the reveal that he's not dead. He's like, hey guys, have you seen my shoes?
Yeah, because they're going to kill a child in this Rugrats movie. What the fuck are we talking about? Basically, Tommy puts Dill to bed.
They share the blankie.
Yeah. The park ranger's stuck in the mud, and Stu calls him on the radio, and he's hang gliding. It's the next morning. So these dudes have been out there for a while, man. Stu's been hang gliding literally all night. He's just now making it to the forest.
This is when I started to think about, like, when it was the next day, I was thinking about, imagine if it was like Farrah, Madeline, and Big Willie out in the woods overnight.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What would happen?
Dude, that was what I was thinking, is if we're looking at a realistic setting here, they'd be dead in 10 minutes. You know? There's no possibility of their survival. Promise.
You don't think they have a shot?
Not if there's a giant wolf after them, they're done.
Oh, wolf,
It's
you're
fucking
out.
over.
You're done.
And there's monkeys
Yeah,
in
it's
the woods for whatever reason. Yeah, you can write that off.
I just pictured Farrah and Madeline with, like, Will sitting between them, and they're just crying their fucking faces off the whole time.
Right?
Just screaming out, Daddy!
Well, it doesn't help that Madeline can't even pick Will up, you know?
Farrah can.
Yeah, she could. She couldn't hold on to him for long. She'd get tired after a
No,
while.
she would drop him pretty quick.
Yeah.
But she
I'd
could
say
pick
in
him
under
up.
5 minutes, it'd be done. Yeah.
That's one thing they did in the movie I thought was, like, so factual, and I was so appreciative of. Tommy never carried Dill. He would just drag Dill around.
Yeah, 4-week-old babies really like that. So, yeah.
Yeah. Just drag him.
Yeah, just drag him around. It's fine. So,
Are we
Phil,
done?
Lil, Phil, and Chucky find Tommy and Dill, and then Chucky, like, manages to lead these monkeys away because they're being chased. Tommy
With
goes
manners.
up to Chucky. Yeah. At one point, Angelica... This is where all the plot threads of this movie really, like, tie themselves together here at the...
Oh, where the subplots really come in.
Yeah. This is almost like an American Beauty type scenario where everything just kind of
yeah.
comes together at the end, you know?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, absolutely.
Why this didn't win an Oscar, I'm not sure, but... Angelica sees Cynthia. Chucky sees her and tells her to run. Chucky makes it back to the river. He throws in the baby food. And of course, the monkeys see that, and they're like, what the fuck? But when he's throwing it in, the baby food spills all over him. So
they lick him.
Yeah. The monkeys, like, bum rush his ass, I wrote down. And then, like, Tommy arrives, and he's riding on Spike, the dog. And so Chucky and Tommy, Chucky hops on, and they're riding on Spike's back, and then they both
That was so confusing to me because I don't know if I dozed off, but I never even saw where Tommy got Spike.
No, they never show it. But at
They
this
don't.
point, I'm sitting there thinking, like, who the fuck could possibly care about any of this shit? You know? If I'm thinking about it, that's too much effort, you know? So the monkeys try to get a hold of Chucky and Tommy, who fell off the dog. Dill ends up causing the Raptor wagon to run through the gaggle of monkeys that are there. They all hop onto the Raptor wagon. Angelica finds Cynthia and the Raptor wagon. She hops on. And then they go down some mine shaft. So now we're bringing a mine shaft into this. Leads to a bridge that crosses the river.
Yeah, they foreshadowed the danger ahead because there was a giant sign that said "Do not enter."
Yeah, it's a bridge. It's fucking dangerous as fuck. Plus, that would be the only mine shaft ever that would lead to just a bridge, you know? What are you guys mining for? Oh, the bridge.
Yeah. Just need a tunnel.
Right? Yeah, it's just a tunnel. It's not bad. So they hit a broken boar on the bridge. Angelica falls out and she's hanging from the bridge. But then they pull her right back up.
She could fly.
Yeah, fucking. Oh God, yeah. So while she's hanging off the bridge, they wind up just pulling her back up. So once again, none of this matters. We're just creating shit so that we can resolve it, just to fucking pad this out, you know. The monkeys show up, but then they take off again, so that doesn't matter. They get scared by the wolf. Spike winds up fighting the wolf, and at one point he's hanging off the bridge, and then Angelica distracts the wolf. So Spike manages to bite his tail, drag him off the bridge.
Sacrificed himself for the greater good of the group.
Yeah, I'm sure they killed the dog. I'm sure that's exactly what happened in this fucking movie. We're not taking any risks here, Mike, you know. Just saying. So Stu, not Sue, a boy named Sue. No, Stu, he's riding around that stupid hang glider, and he's like, I'm going to come down there and fucking rescue him. And so
He sees him, yeah.
Yeah, he winds up wrecking his fucking stupid hang glider.
He crashes into a helicopter first.
Oh, yeah, the guy... So that was my thing, is I was thinking about it like, well, we could probably cover more ground if there was some sort of air vehicle that we had that could kind of survey this landscape here, you know? And then I was like, wait, they had a helicopter early on in the movie, so, you know, why don't they use that? And then we see that they are actually using it, and this guy is looking for the kids, but he still has to get his comeuppance for being a news reporter, so Stu wrecks into his fucking shit. So dumb, bro. So dumb.
So dumb.
So he crashes into the ranger station. Is David Spade still in there?
I don't know.
I think they just killed him. That dude just died in a fireball, man. So Stu gets up and he's walking around, but he has this wreckage from the stupid hang glider. They think it's the Lizard of Oz. And Tommy's like, I just want to go home. And he falls through the bridge. And that's whenever we find out that Spike is still alive. And he's winds up licking the Stu on the face. And so anyway, the other parents arrive, I guess. Who cares?
Yep.
They embrace the kids, the train operators. They find the monkeys. I'm glad they tied that up. And everybody laughs because, like, this news reporter that nobody likes, he winds up getting mauled by the monkeys.
Yep.
Everybody goes home. We get more Indiana Jones bullshit. And they use Dill to get the banana split out of the fridge, which is what they were imagining was happening the first time around. And we all live happily ever after. Nobody gives a fuck because this movie is fucking horrible. Really, really bad. So, there's that.
Dog shit.
Oh, yeah. So, would you...
Which we said nearly an hour ago, so...
Yeah. You would recommend this, though, right?
No, actually, I don't even recommend this podcast.
It's really bad, dude. Because there's nothing to talk about, man.
If you listened after the first couple minutes and we told you how much we hated what we were getting ready to talk about,
Yeah.
you got the same problems we got.
It's
and you're
really
welcome
dumb.
for that.
Yeah, stupid. I haven't seen either of the other movies. They got to be better than this. I mean,
I remember them being better than this.
So to be fair, I mean, I'm a middle-aged dude. Like, I'm not the demographic they're going for, but I cannot imagine watching this movie when I was younger and thinking that it was anything but dog shit. So,
Dude, I had 2 5-year-olds in my house who love cartoons.
mm-hmm.
We watched Incredible 2s last night,
Yeah.
and Pharaoh was like glued to the TV.
Yeah. So, there you go. So yeah, I would not recommend this movie. Don't waste your fucking time. Anyway, Mike. So, that sucked. Did you watch anything good this week?
Well, like I said, we watched Incredibles 2 last night.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I watched this really awesome documentary. Shit. It's called The Far Side of the Wind, I think it's what it's called. Or The Other Side of the Wind.
Yeah.
And it's about, what's his name? He made Citizen Kane.
Oh, what's his name?
Orson Welles.
Yeah, Orson Welles, yeah.
Yeah. Citizen Kane is frequently called the best movie ever made.
Mm-hmm. Never seen it.
And
insanely.
I've never seen it either.
I've heard it's really slow, but yeah.
if you pay attention to like those really like frou-frou like movie critic guys,
yeah,
Citizen
They'll
Kane's
tell you
always
it's
like in the top 2.
the best of American cinema, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. But you get a chance to kind of see that and like the behind the scenes of his final project, which was called The Far Side of the Wind.
Oh, okay.
It's really, really interesting. And Orson Welles was a really interesting character.
He was. I think that he was one of those guys that like walked the line between genius and insanity,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I watched anything else. Oh, so I told you about that show I've been watching called Kidding with Jim Carrey on Showtime.
Yep.
So I'm staying up to date with it, and it is so bizarre.
He's a weird cat, man. He's gotten stranger as time went on,
This show is just so bizarre, but I can't stop watching. I'm so invested in it now.
Right.
I gotta see what happens.
What's funny is I was back in the day. I talk about Penn Jillette all the time. I'm sure that our listeners are sick of hearing about him, but he was talking about, and this is a show I never watched, but that's Mad Men on AMC. And
yeah, we've watched that.
Oh, okay. But he was like, I am addicted to this show. He's like, and it's really weird because I don't know why. He's like, nothing really happens, He's like, but the characters are so good and the acting's so good. He's like, I really can't stop. He's like, but nothing of consequence really happens,
Nicole and I mean, we didn't binge watch it. It's I think 5 seasons long.
Yeah, something like that.
But we'd watch a couple hours a night kind of thing of it. And it's John Hamm is so fantastic in it.
Yeah.
And there's so many other characters in the movie that are just so well developed. You just are hooked.
I got you. Well, something to keep in mind, I guess. This week it was really weird. So down in Muskogee, I guess they're doing some film festival. And yeah, really strange stuff. And I guess one of the movies that they were showing was the old Alfred Hitchcock Vertigo movie. And so she was like, have you ever seen Vertigo? And I was like, yeah, of course. It's, Jimmy Stewart. It's great, And she's like, I'd like to check that out. And I was like, I own a copy of it. So we sat down and watched Vertigo this week. And great movie. Classic. So I think I might actually have to tear into my old Hitchcocks again here soon.
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's good. It's a classic. So yeah, there's that. Do you know what we're watching next week, Mike?
Please tell me it's not Rugrats 2.
Rugrats 2. Yeah, they did like a Lord of the Rings where they're making the first 2 at the same time, So they go straight from that forest to Paris. So worked out great. No, we're actually going to, this is a movie that we brought up several weeks ago, but A Bug's Life. So that came out in 98. The better of the 2 Bug movies from 1998. So we have that.
My memory of it is far better than Ant's.
Oh, yeah. Well, and we'll talk about it more later, but this isn't, in my opinion, one of the better Pixar movies, but it's way better than Ant's, so there's that. But, yeah, so we get to see the contrast of like a really fucking horrible children's movie versus one that's not too bad. So
what's up with all the kid movies?
I don't know, man. I do not know, but it's whatever. Anyway, if you would like, you are welcome to join us next week to watch that.
Are we done? Is this podcast over?
I think we're about to wrap it up. I just wanted to mention our email address, which is cheesymovie@yahoo.com.
How did we talk about this movie for a fucking hour?
Yeah, it's one of our shorter episodes, but there's nothing that happens in this fucking thing.
No, how did we make it an hour?
Oh, I don't know.
This should have been like a 15-minute cast and done.
They get lost in the woods and they get found by... Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the dad creates a fucking wagon with flames on it. And the mom is a baby after 8 years. I know
Before you give out the credits, or before you put out our contact stuff, I just want to apologize to our listeners. Our listeners, although we may not have millions of listeners, we have some really loyal ones. And I'm really sorry that you had to listen to this episode.
It's pretty bad. Pretty bad. Hopefully next week goes better. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. But, yeah, I don't know. This shit sucked. I wouldn't. Don't waste your time. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, what I was going to mention, actually, though, is in regard to the whole race thing, like I mentioned. They show the black babies in that nursery thing, and they all got big lips drawn on them. None of the other characters in the movie have lips, except these dudes.
Yeah, they kind of have like blackface almost.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Like their lips are really pale in color compared to their skin tone.
Made me... I don't think it's aged well. I'm just going to say that. So.
And it didn't help that it was in this like big Jewish hospital.
Right. Oh, I like too... in the hospital, there's like a gold statue that's like right there. Well, there's why your healthcare is so expensive, you know.
It's Dr. Lipschitz.
Dr. Lipschitz?
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna fuck with that. Anyway, you can check us out on YouTube. You can check us out on iTunes or Instagram. It's Casino Royale WCheese. Our Twitter, Casino Royale WCH, all one word. And our Facebook is Casino Royale with Cheese, all separate words. Don't, like, if you feel so inclined after listening to this episode, we'll say that. So, sorry to make y'all endure it. Hey, I had to watch the fucking thing, so you guys gotta listen to me talk about it. So, but I think that might do it for me, my friend.
I got shit else to say about this pile of crap.
All right. We'll see everybody next week when we talk about A Bug's Life. And I hope y'all take it easy.
Bye.
I'll be back.